As the sun rose over the magma plains, the Obsidian Order and the Flamesworn prepared for battle. Tensions had been rising between the two factions for months, and now it seemed that war was inevitable. The Obsidian Order had gathered their forces in a massive fortress at the edge of the plains. The blacksmiths had been working tirelessly to create weapons and armor from obsidian, and the warriors had been drilling day and night in preparation for the fight to come. Meanwhile, the Flamesworn had assembled in a hidden temple deep beneath the ground. The mages had been studying ancient texts and performing powerful rituals to prepare themselves for the battle. They knew that the Obsidian Order would be formidable opponents, but they were confident in their ability to control the fiery energies of the magma and turn them against their enemies. As the two factions approached each other across the plains, a tense silence descended over the battlefield. The Obsidian Order raised their weapons and shields, ready to charge, while the Flamesworn stood calmly, their hands glowing with the power of fire. With a roar, the two sides clashed. The Obsidian Order charged forward, their obsidian weapons slashing through the air. The Flamesworn countered with a wall of fire, which engulfed the first wave of attackers and sent them reeling backwards. For hours, the battle raged on. The air was thick with smoke and ash, and the ground trembled beneath the combatants' feet. The Obsidian Order pushed forward, determined to break through the Flamesworn's defenses and claim victory. But the Flamesworn held their ground, their magic wreaking havoc on the enemy ranks. As the day wore on, the battle began to take a toll on both sides. The Obsidian Order's warriors were exhausted, and their obsidian armor was starting to crack under the intense heat. The Flamesworn's mages were drained from casting spells, and their temples were in danger of being overrun. Finally, in the heat of the moment, a single mage rose above the battlefield. He called down a massive column of fire from the sky, which struck the Obsidian Order's fortress and reduced it to ash. With their stronghold destroyed, the Obsidian Order began to retreat, their forces in disarray. The Flamesworn emerged victorious, but at a heavy cost. Many of their mages had been lost in the battle, and their temples were in ruins. The Obsidian Order was battered, but not broken, and it was clear that the feud between the two factions was far from over. In the aftermath of the battle, both sides licked their wounds and began to plan their next moves. The Flamesworn knew that they would have to rebuild their temples and train new mages to replace the ones they had lost. The Obsidian Order, meanwhile, vowed revenge, and began to plot their next attack. The battle between the Obsidian Order and the Flamesworn had left its mark on the magma plains. The ground was scarred with cracks and craters, and the air was thick with smoke and ash. But despite the destruction, both factions knew that the fight for control of the volcano plains was far from over.